Hello everyone, it's Jean. Welcome back. I am going to be doing a new project, and this is going to be sort of a process video just to kind of show you how I go about doing this, my thought processes, and that type of thing. I am taking a placemat and I'm turning it into a journal cover. And so let's get started with this. Now, this is a placemat, and actually I bought two of them, and they're handmade, I can tell. And it has, they've never been used, and I'll tell you why. This is all white, and it's like if I had, they're beautiful, but if I had this placemat, I would never be able to use it because of the white. You know, it'd be hard to get the stains not to show. But aside of that, it's beautiful fabrics. I love these shabby chic type of fabrics on here. I am not super crazy about the red, and there's also a red lining. It's just not the aesthetic that I want. I mean, it's beautiful by itself, but it's not what I want to do. And so these are great for like a tall and skinny journal size. And here's my paper. You just take your paper and fold it in half, and you've got tall and skinny. So they're perfect for that type of thing. It's kind of hard to get all in one shot. But they're also good for a TN size, traveler's notebook size, which is about like this, and it would fit in like that. And of course, any size. You can go, you know, all the way up to whatever this is. This is a pretty big size. But I am going to be making a tall and skinny because I wanted to use as much of the design and less of the white as I can. So that is where I'm going for. So it will need to be at least probably another 1/2 inch off here would be just about right. And I'm going to start by cutting off all of this red trim. Now this is going to leave me with a raw edge, which is perfectly fine. I'm happy with that. And you also will be, I'll be stitching all this together because you see the layers, you know, will come apart. So it'll have to be stitched just a little bit around there on the outside. But I'm just going to cut off that trim. And yes, it is kind of hard to do this because I know somebody spent a lot of time making this. But, you know, there was only 2 of them. Anyways, I cut that all away, so that's cool. And now let's see, let's get it, you know, I would say a little bit. I'm going to go to the tip of this design right here because I do want it to be a little larger than my paper. I think that should do it pretty good there. Then I need to sew all the way around it. Now I'm not really happy with this red background on here, so I've got some fabric that I want to layer on top of that layer, and I will probably see, I wonder if I can cut some of that away. Not really, it's kind of sewn in there a little bit. So okay, I'm going to hand tear this fabric down to this size. And then what I'll need to do is I'll need to go back with the machine and stitch along all of these lines here. And then stitch, and then after I've done that, I'm going to stitch all the way around the perimeter of it. And that will sort of tack this down on the inside because I just not that happy with that red showing. So that's why I'm going to do that. And I'm also contemplating on putting a cloth pocket on the inside. So I look and see, I bought these at a thrift store for just pennies. They've got this beautiful Battenberg work down here in this lace, all hand stitched all the way around. They're really beautiful, and they come in all these different colors, and I think all of these colors are part of this inside here. So I will probably be using these for pockets or whatever on the inside of this journal. So let me go ahead and get that much done. And let's see, I should probably iron this out a little bit. Probably will be having this will be hanging off the edge just a bit. While I was preparing this to sew, I discovered that I had made an error, and I want to correct that right away in case you do what I did. I don't want you to do what I did. I did not allow for the spine. When I went to put in extra over here, I should have put in what my spine's going to be. And I didn't do that. So I made that cut so narrow that once I start building up on the inside in here, the papers are going to start coming out. So it was a little too narrow. However, it's just the perfect size for a traveler's notebook. And I'm going to fold it this way. And that'll be the perfect size for a traveler's notebook size journal, with plenty of room left over to build that spine up. So that was just an error I made. I didn't want you to make it. So now I'm going to put on this backing, and I'm going to pin it really well, trying to avoid places where I'm going to be sewing. I guess I probably should start pinning it on this side. I'm going to have a little bit of that fabric hanging over so that it can hide that red lining a little bit better, and just come through here and just pin it really well. This is easy quilting because you've already got the lines on there and you know exactly where to sew, and that makes it so much easier. It's interesting that they chose red thread for that white background, but I guess it goes with the red and the lining and such. So I'm just going to go around that. I'm going to cover all these points, and then when I get that done, I'm going to sew real close to the edge all the way around. And I'll probably stitch it a couple times. I'm not going to do the zigzag. I'm going to do a straight stitch. Maybe at least two passes all the way around the edge of that. So I finished it. I just sewed down these places here just enough to tack this fabric onto the back side of this, and then I stitched around twice, and I purposely did not make them super even. I wish I'd made them even sloppier than this. But I stitched around twice there. I love how the fabric hangs off here in that frayed way, so that it kind of lends to a little bit more of a shabby look, because cutting this straight, I could probably fray it out a little bit. Maybe I will go in here and later on tonight sit down and pick out some threads just to make that a little bit more frayed. But I'm loving the way that is turning out. So now for the pocket on the inside, I said I had these here, which were really cool. And but I'm not sure. It's a little too wide for me to get. I'd have to do some cutting off here, probably, to get the pocket down. Now I'm going to cut these in half so that I can have this part for a pocket and this part for a pocket. But I'm just thinking that it's going to come really close to the spine in here. But it is a thought. I also found this, which is like super, super thin, very strong, but it's kind of a burlap type of a fabric feeling. And I thought this might look really nice for like sort of a side pocket, and sew it in along those edges, and then have a place to slip things on the inside. Kind of liked that, although this might really look cool as a page. Like to put it over a page where you lift up and you can write underneath. Yeah, that's kind of a neat idea. So let's just think about that. And then I found this lace here, and sew this in for a pocket. And I would probably either put it all the way across. I have to iron it out. It's a little too wrinkly here. Put it all the way across, and then sew the sides, sew the bottom, and sew in the middle. And that way it wouldn't matter where the signatures were too much and still have like a pocket. Or I could sew it straight down like this and have it sort of a belly band type of pocket. Those are a couple of interesting options here. Probably put this aside for a day and go over and come back. There are little white polka dots in this fabric, if you can see. Plus there's the white here on the front. So I don't think this would look out of place to put this white lace down here. So those are a couple, 3 options that I'm just going to sleep on it and see what we end up doing. Okay, it's been about a day for me kind of sitting on this and thinking. It's only been a second for you. How great. I decided that I was going to go ahead and I'm going to use this lace here. And I'm going to sew it. Of course, you'll sew it on the 3 edges here. But I want to sew it so that a little bit of that lace will peek out on the edge like so. Like that. Okay. And I'm going to do it on both sides. And I'll probably allow a little bit of that cut edge to kind of peek out up on top as well. I don't know. I'm thinking about that. And that way it'll be a nice little clear pocket where you can stuff something in and kind of half see it, half not. I think it'll be really cute. I like that idea. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. But before I go any further, I thought I would give you the dimensions of this placemat. And it is 11¼ by 9 inches. This is the size of the placemat that I ended up cutting. And this will fit, I'm going to take my 8½ by 11 paper. And of course my printer has a border on it, a 1/4 inch border that I will need to be cutting off. And after that I can fold it in half. And then, you know, maybe I'll have to cut a little bit more off, maybe not. So here, I'll get a piece of paper I've already printed out. Here is one of the papers. And I'm going to fold this in half like so. So it'll fit inside here just barely. And so what will happen is I get more and more pages in here. It'll start sticking out a little bit more. So I may end up shaving it off just a little bit more. I'll see once I get my signatures out, but I'm also going to be putting lace on some of the pages as well. So I cut it this way, and so it's a little larger than Traveler's Notebook size. It's a rather nice size little journal. If you want to use your full page, because I know some papers you may want to use the whole thing, then you'll want to cut this wider, and I would probably go up to I'd even go to 13 inches just to see, you know, go there, put your papers in, and then experiment, and then you can always cut it back. Remember that the more you start putting in here, then there is going to be some room taken up here in this little spine area. So you'll see as you go along. You may want to just make it as wide as the placemat is, leave it at that width, and then work with it as you make your signatures and decide the size of the cover once your signatures are all done. So you want to do your cover last. But I am going to go with this, and so this is what it is. Sometimes as you work with it, like I made the error of making this too narrow to go this way. I guess, you know, I guess in the end I probably could have done something, but I'm just going to work with it on this level. And, you know, you just have to go with the flow and adjust as you go along. I always try to hold my visions of the final journal a little loosely so that I don't feel bad when I have to shift and make new directions or whatever. So I'm going to go and I'm going to get these sewn on. Oh, and then here's the papers that I've chosen. Let me get them over here. So what I tried to do was I tried to choose colors and the patterns to kind of go with this lovely quilting work. So this is the inspiration for what is going to go on the inside. And I'll look down below. This is Cotton and Twig, I believe, is the Etsy shop for these digitals. And then on the back side, I wanted something a little plain so that you could, write or do something over it. And these are from my the Pink Monarch, and I'll put down her shop address as well. I'll try to, if I can remember, I'll try to put in the name of the kit. But anywho's, and now I printed, on this side I printed, a regular high quality print, but on the back side I printed it in the standard setting. It's not quite the highest, so that it is a little bit more faded and you can see your writing here a little bit better. So those are just some of the things I just thought I would point out to you. I have printed some of these papers on 27-pound paper, presentation paper from Epson is what I use. This is on the heavier weight, I believe it's 47 pounds, and that's also from Epson presentation paper, and this is a little bit more like a heavy scrapbook paper. So I have a variety of those out that I'm going to be using. So that is what it is so far. Let me go ahead and get these on. The sides are all sewn in for these little pockets. I'm going to really like these pockets. And I also added some ribbon. Just folded it over and sewed it there on the top. That will be for the tie closure. And so you have all this layered look here on the cover. So that is how far I've gotten. I am beginning to choose out the paper. I've got some avocado dyed paper, parchment, tea stained, digital, some wallpaper. And I'm going to be putting in 2 signatures rather than one large one. I'm going to put in 2 smaller signatures in here. And I think that's going to be really delightful. So I'll continue to work on this, and thank you so much for viewing, and be sure to subscribe, and you can see the final thing that I do on here. And you have a great and lovely day. Bye.